The desert wind dragged a curtain of red dust across Redwater Gulch as Sheriff Cole Maddox sat outside the saloon, oiling the revolver that had outlived most of his friends. The air smelled of dry whiskey, sweat, and regret. He had seen too much war to believe in peace, too many graves to believe in miracles. The frontier was dying, and he was just waiting for it to finish. Then came the sound, hoofbeats, slow and deliberate, echoing through the empty street like a heartbeat returning to a corpse. Every gaze in town turned toward the rider. A woman approached, her horse black as midnight, her face half hidden beneath the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. When she dismounted, the sun caught the copper in her skin and the silver glint of a pendant shaped like an eagle's claw. She walked straight to him. No hesitation. No fear. "Sheriff Maddox," she said, her voice low but clear. "You saved me once, 20 years ago." Cole frowned. "Ma'am, I've saved a lot of people I shouldn't have." Her eyes held his, unwavering. "I was the Apache Girl beneath the burning wagon. You carried me out." The words hit him harder than a bullet. That night had haunted his sleep for decades. The fire, the screams, the tiny hand clutching his. But the child he remembered was long gone. This woman stood like someone carved from survival itself. Before he could reply, the saloon doors slammed open. The Vance brothers, drunk and mean, stepped out, their hands hovering near their guns. "You bring in trouble, Sheriff." One sneered. Cole stood slowly, eyes on the woman. "Seems trouble's got good taste." She smiled faintly, her hand brushing her holster. "Then let's dance." And as the wind rose, the first shot shattered the silence. Smoke thickened inside the saloon, curling through shattered glass and spilled whiskey. Cole crouched behind the bar, the wood splintering above his head as bullets punched through. He reloaded with steady hands, though his heartbeat drummed like a war drum. Across from him, the woman, Ayanna she'd called herself, moved with the calm of someone who had long made peace with danger. "You sure know how to make an entrance," Cole muttered. "You taught me," she replied, snapping open her revolver. "Said never let a man shoot first." He froze. The memory surfaced, her trembling hands around a rifle, his voice guiding her breath through the fear. Back then, she was a child. Now she fought like a storm. A bottle exploded above them, raining glass. Cole vaulted the counter, firing 3 shots, sharp, precise. 2 of the Vance brothers fell. The last bolted through the door, wounded and screaming. Silence returned, broken only by the hiss of a lamp guttering out. Ayanna straightened, eyes flicking toward the flames licking the curtains. "They weren't after me," she said quietly. "They came for you." Cole spat out the dust. "I've made enough enemies to fill a graveyard." "Not enough," she said. "Someone paid for this. Someone powerful." For a moment neither spoke. The fire spread, reflecting in her dark eyes. Cole studied her face, half warrior, half memory, and wondered if fate had sent her back to finish what he'd started. "We can't stay," she said, grabbing her rifle. He nodded, tipping his hat toward the growing blaze. "Then let's ride before hell catches up." As they stepped into the night, the burning saloon collapsed behind them, sparks chasing their shadows down the street. 2 souls bound by an old debt neither yet understood. Moonlight silvered the desert as they rode, the sound of hooves fading into the vast hush of sand and sage. Cole kept his eyes on the horizon, but his thoughts trailed 20 years behind, on fire, blood, and the small girl he'd carried through it. Beside him, Ayanna rode with the ease of someone born to the saddle, her rifle slung low, her expression unreadable. She had grown into a weapon shaped by the same wilderness that had nearly killed her. When they finally stopped near a dry creek bed, Cole gathered wood for a fire. The silence between them felt weighted, like a truth waiting to be spoken. "You shouldn't have come back," he said. "The men hunting me, they don't stop." "I know," she answered. "That's why I'm here." The flames caught, painting her face in shifting gold. Cole studied her. The calm, the strength, the sorrow beneath both. "I failed that night," he murmured. Lost everyone but you. Ayana shook her head. You didn't fail. You gave me a life. I spent years trying to forget your face. Then I realized I didn't want to. The words hit him deeper than any wound. For the first time in years, he felt something stir that wasn't regret. But the moment shattered when a distant crack split the night. Gunfire. Cole doused the flames with his boot. They found us. Ayana's eyes sharpened. Then we end it here. The canyon echoed with chaos. Flashes of muzzle fire, the echo of steel and screams. Cole fought beside her, every shot a promise, every breath a confession left unsaid. When silence finally fell, the star seemed closer, brighter, until he turned and saw her stumble, her hand pressed to a dark stain spreading fast across her side. Dawn crept over the canyon in muted gold, brushing the rocks with light that felt too gentle for so much death. Cole knelt beside Ayana, his hands slick with her blood, his breath breaking against the silence. She was pale, but her eyes still burned with that wild, unyielding fire. He had seen men die with less resolve. "Stay with me," he whispered, pressing his palm to her wound. "You made it 20 years to find me. Don't quit now." Her lips curved faintly. "You said you didn't believe in miracles." He laughed, cracked and hoarse. "I lied." He lifted her onto his horse, and they rode until the sun crowned the ridges. Ahead stood the old mission, its bell long silent, its cross half buried in dust. Cole carried her inside, each step a vow unspoken. The priest, ancient and wordless, lit a candle and began to pray. Cole lowered her onto the altar's edge, his voice trembling as he said, "You came back to finish a story I never thought had an ending." Ayana's hand found his. "Then let's write one together." Her voice was a whisper of wind and memory. He nodded, eyes glistening. "You're a stubborn woman." "Only learned from the best," she breathed. Outside, the wind rose, rattling the chapel doors. Cole bent to kiss her forehead as the priest spoke the vows. For a heartbeat, everything was still, the world holding its breath as if mercy itself lingered. Then came another sound, a single shot from the doorway. Cole spun, fired once, and the echo faded into silence. The danger was gone. He turned back to her, and she smiled weakly. "Told you we'd make it." Cole held her close, voice low and steady. "Yeah," he said. "And we ain't done yet."